wonder if you could just both share your thoughts on what the recent experience of 5 games in 10 days has been like, and particularly the experiences of this week. What do you feel like you learned about this team recently as it applies to like where you are moving forward, how everything is actually coming along?
Well, these stretch of games has been like physically taxing and mentally taxing. So we're looking forward to the 2 days off. But with this team, like during these games, I feel like we're getting a flow and everybody's, learning their roles and playing to the best of their ability, really. And I think we're pretty good when things are flowing great defensively and offensively. So.
Okay, Steve,
Paige,
you want to go ahead?
Hey.
Paige, we just want to follow up at all just on what you may have learned about the team recently through this stretch?
Yeah. I mean, playing 5 games in 10 days is really hard, especially with the caliber of teams that we've been playing. Ever since the Arkansas game, we've been playing really tough teams. So just mentally pushing through it and physically pushing through it. I think our team showed a lot of resilience and strength. A lot of these games weren't easy coming into, especially South Carolina games. And the games after that, just, of course, the tough battle against South Carolina was hard. And then having games after that with no breaks really is hard as well. But I think just the way we fought through it and the way we just mentally and physically just battled those challenges was really important for our team.
Thank you.
All right, Steve, you're up.
Christyn, how Gino said this was your best game in a while. How good did it feel to have this kind of game?
Felt really good. Felt good just to see the ball go in a couple times. I've really been struggling a little bit shooting the ball and just getting into a good groove. But I'm very thankful for my teammates because they've had my back since I've been off, and they've been very encouraging and just helping me stay positive. So I appreciate them for that.
Maria?
Hey guys, actually just to follow up on that, Christyn, that you were able to get involved early, the difference, would you say, between last game and this game, aside from, your teammates helping you, was it more of like just like a conscious effort, like I want to go and find my shots and hunt shots right away?
Yeah. I mean, I just took the opportunity. I mean, I was wide open, so I just shot it. I feel like in the other games, I was just really passive and just not very confident in myself. So I just went into this game, telling myself, like, here we go. We're in it. So that's what happened, and some shots went in.
If I could follow up real quick, Anna, for both of you, actually, Christyn, you alluded to having a couple days off to look forward to, and Paige, you've been playing so many minutes, and I know you love to play a lot of minutes, but how are you going to unwind a little bit over these next couple of days, physically and mentally? Like, how do you just rest and regroup?
Well,
is it just a break from basketball? Is that like that's the main thing?
TV shows, I'm just gonna chill, get some good food, just enjoy, life, really.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
Storrs, Connecticut is our new home now, so we haven't been home in a very long time. Just been traveling, been at practice, been at games. We haven't had a lot of time just in our beds, just hanging out in our living rooms. So just to get that time off and just kind of rest your legs and rest your mind, I think we're all looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Did either of you have exams today? Because Coach mentioned that some players had exams.
Yeah, I did.
She did. Not me.
How did that go?
It went. Yeah, it went.
All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Doug?
Christyn, you had mentioned your confidence and kind of how it was down. I mean, that said, what do you think this game does for you, especially now that you have a few days off and can kind of, go into that knowing that you bounce back? I mean, so, in that sense, how big was it?
It would have been very sucky if I would have played horrible in this game and then had 2 days to just sit on it. So I'm happy that I got to go out on a bang and, just take this time to get my mind right, get my body right, rest up, and just looking forward to practice on Monday.
Gino mentioned he had talked to you before that last game. I mean, did you talk to anyone else specifically just about your slump, or how do you handle it from that perspective, or do you just prefer not to talk to anyone about it?
I mean, I have a circle, I talk to my teammates, my family, my parents, the people that's closest to me, they help me stay positive, like I said before, and just constantly encouraging me. But at the end of the day, they're not out there on the court with me. So, I gotta grow up and figure things out on my own. And I'm constantly growing and constantly working on my mindset, and it paid off today.
Thanks.
Carl?
Paige, you mentioned your exam, and one thing about you is you made Dean's List last fall. Who stressed the importance of academics through your life, and how much pride do you take in it in being successful in the classroom?
Yeah, my parents have always been really hard on me. They've always been proud of my basketball accomplishments, but they've always pushed my school accomplishments first. And they've always told me that it's student athlete, not athlete student. Sometimes I disagree, but they've just kind of pushed it on me. So that's just kind of like, I took pride in that, definitely for sure, just trying to get the best grades that I can get. Yeah.
Do you get annoyed if there are people out there that think you're just a basketball player?
Yeah, not even in school, just on social media, just using my platform. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot more to athletes than just whatever the ball we're using, whether that be our voices, what we do in school, what we do off the court. So yeah, I mean, it is pretty annoying when people just try to single us into sports.
Thank you.
Roger?
Paige, after last game, Coach was asked to kind of compare you to other freshmen that UConn has had. And he said, I don't really see a good comparison there, but what I see is the way you're taking this team and leading it the way Diana Taurasi did in 2003 as a junior, when there were no All-Americans around her, returning All-Americans. First of all, how do you accept praise like that or comparisons like that? And how are you handling all this with being expected to do so much? Do you just rely on teammates or something?
Yeah, I try not to pay attention to that stuff at all. A lot of people have different opinions of different things, but the only thing I really focus on is what my team, my coaches, and my teammates need me to do. I just try to fulfill the role that they want me for that game, they need for that practice, or anything that they need. I'm just trying to focus on that. And I don't try to live in the past, and just try to focus on now and the future and what I want to keep getting better at for the team. And whatever that may be, that's just what I'm focused on.
Michelle?
Yeah, if I could maybe follow up on that a little bit with both of you. This program has more great players than really much any other program. And there's a lot of them are still playing. They're in the news. Obviously, Sue's 40 years old and still playing. How much do you guys ever think about that legacy part, or is that just something we think about as media? I mean, do you guys are just out there playing? We're this year's UConn team. We're not thinking about everything we carry from, 25, 30 years ago of the program. Because I know that might be hard to do, but do you ever think about it, or is it really you stay in the moment?
It's a great question. I think there's a thin line, because obviously we know people have paved the way for us, and we have to play at that level. But then again, you don't want to like harp on it and think about it. You like to stay in the moment, like you said, because I mean it's very high expectations, and you don't want to let the like pressure get to you. But it is in the back of our mind at all times.
Yeah, it's just there's a UConn level of expectations and everything, and they're always high. And that's been that way since Coach got here for like 36 years. But each team has different things that they're excellent at. So we can't focus on, this team from 1999 was really good at this, or this team from 2001 was really good at this. Each team has different great things that they're great at. So obviously the little things and just that excellence and professionalism that they carry in the little things is obviously something that they're going to continue just because of tradition. But every team is different, and so we just have to take it game by game and just stay in the moment, like you said.
And Christyn, I know you've been through this before. Like Monday, they'll do the NCAA will do its first reveal, for top 16 seeds. And Paige, you probably heard about this. Does this mean anything to players? Do you guys kind of look at that and just say, oh, wow, because that's not necessarily going to be the way it is. But is it kind of a neat gauge? You guys are usually a number one seed. But is it an interesting gauge just to see who those top 16 seeds are? Do you guys take a look at that when that happens?
I mean, we look at it, but I mean, we don't really pay attention to it for real. Like, it's interesting, but we're not going to like let it, I don't know. You're going to pay attention to that?
No, I mean, we don't really, our mindset isn't really focused on ranking. It's just getting better each and every game. We know there's a lot of time left in the season. A lot of crazy stuff can happen between any team, especially with COVID. You never know what the season's going to end up looking like. So, I mean, we don't really focus too much on that stuff.
We don't feed it.
Thanks.
We'll go to Sean and then Roger to finish up.
A few back-to-back slow starts for you guys out there in these first quarters. I'm just wondering what you guys think you need to do to kind of buck that trend and get off to some quicker starts.
I just think we, need to come out with an aggressive mindset, like constantly. Sometimes I think we, start off a little slow, a little passive instead of coming out and throwing the first punch. And that's just something that we have to, be more conscious about and get better at moving forward.
All right, Roger.
There's always been this quote unquote mythical freshman wall that everybody runs into at some point, and you seem impervious to that. And we asked Coach about it. He said that he thinks you've probably felt the pressure along the lines, but you just hide it well. I mean, how do you deal with all the pressure you're feeling as a freshman and not hit that wall? Or how do you?
I've hit a wall. There was a couple practices that I just wasn't there mentally, and it kind of made me take a few steps back and realize like I need to check back in. And it was a tough time, but I try not to show it on my face and show it in my emotions, just because my team needs me, my coaches need me, and I can't be in my own head about things. I just have to stay confident. But the pressure, I try not to focus on it really. Like I said before, I'm just trying to do what my team needs me to do, what the coaches want me to do, what my teammates want me to do. And all the other outside noise, it doesn't really matter to me because I'm not focused on anybody else's opinions. I'm not going to be perfect for anybody. Everybody's always going to have something to say. But the voices that I care about, those are the people I'm going to listen to.